Hey, my name is Marco. I'm a former pro opera singer turned voice actor. Today we're going to be listening to Huaxu's theme from Punishing Gray Raven. I've been listening to this in the gym on repeat, and I'm excited to share some more musical details about it as now that I'm sitting down at the computer and can really pay attention, not just get a pump up. So let's dive in, shall we? Right off the bat, there's a lot of anticipation here, you have the clock in the background. This character seems to me to be very cybernetic. This makes sense for Punishing Gray Raven, but there is a quality of technological prowess sitting at the computer hacking a system or something. I don't necessarily think that Huaxu's necessarily a brilliant fighter, although I view them more as an intellectual rather than a brute force combatant. Now, that not necessarily mean that that's true because I don't actually know. I'm really impressed by this when we do things like this in music and whatever music, certainly in classical music, we're delaying and extending tension. And that's the whole point here. There's a buildup, but then also too, what's interesting is that then we have this single solo soprano, which I think is actually representing Huaxu. There's a lot of air in the tone, and that to me represents youth, innocence. I don't know, there's a bit of creativity in here too, where I feel like this character is very malleable, very efficient, very smart. We're still in this setup here. Now we've got I love this song so much. Here we go. Right before the big drop here, there almost sounds like this throat singing. We are interspersing some classical elements in terms of orchestra and in terms of very sharp brass. Boom. There's a lot of pulsation there and a lot of sforzando, which if you've seen some of my other videos, sforzando means boom, and then you pull back. So you go loud, forte, and then you pull back into a piano. And again, that's all there to build some sort of tension. Now, of course, I don't know the situation or even what the landscape of this song is visually, but musically something is occurring and then there's a shift. And I still, I do have the cover photo in mind of this with the bright reds and what I assume to be Huaxu's sitting there and tapped into all these wires and things. And so there's really a vibe of preparation, almost of meditation, that then we have this drop and we dive in. And it's cool to hear some of these other sounds while we have the metronomic pattern of which I think as listeners keeps us tuned in to what's going on here. There's a soundscape that is interesting and we're propelling forward. Where are we going? And we're going to this now coming up. Swell. I'm getting like Mongolian sound quality. So we have traditional sounds. We have this flute, and it almost sounds like it's like being produced by, almost not by an instrument, but by the mouth itself, which I don't know if that's possible, some sort of lip thing. But then we also have the choir, ha, ha, while we have this pulse, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. I'm just endlessly fascinated by this track because there is this primal response that I have when I listen to it that to me is very strong and very dominant and very, in a way, ferocious. There's a feeling of, like not in a violent way, but in like a psychological manipulation, and it fills my brain with this like very intense urge to like lift something heavy in the case of working out, which I listen to this quite often while I'm lifting. But also there's something very, very strong and very dominant and very forceful in an elegant way. There's an ancient quality to this, despite the fact that we have this EDM sort of soundscape that is this pulsation. Does that make sense? I'm just sort of ranting because I really love the track, but it's really interesting to me. These drums too, like that drum is very bum bum. It's like it fills you with something, and then you just have to release it. It's very interesting to listen to. Absolutely sick. There's something about this music that is so fantastic. It ties in some sort of this like folk aspect that's been passed down probably through the centuries with a modern take on music, which is so interesting to me, how we've got old and new combining into one. And in some ways it actually keeps the integrity of ancient soundscape alive by tapping into a beat structure that is very modern. That's crazy because it's fresh, but it's also old, but it's also new, and that's how we keep things alive and we keep things going. I mean, I love this track, and it really has shifted. I mean, Narwhal, of course, if you haven't seen that video, Narwhal, you can watch it here, but there's something so fantastically fresh and unique about this soundscape from Punishing Gray Raven, and in this case Antigeneral, that really just like, gosh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to exploring a lot more of this with you and on my own, because frankly, I mean, it's some of the coolest music I've heard in a long time. So as always, if you like the channel, feel free to like, subscribe. There's links in the About section if you want to support the channel. Feel free to join the Discord. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Bye.